had 40 points in the paint. Antoine Walker and Monir Hima. And the tap won by Walker and the Rams. Justin Porterfield, Tim Comer, Tony Crisp, our officials today. Two good crews this afternoon.
Wow, impressive actually to get these 6 officials working the first day.
And Walker.
That was an impressive drive by Walker, but he missed the dunk. It looked like he twisted his ankle a little bit going down. And you mentioned watch this, Walker. Defenders get lost, but he rims it off the front rim and comes down on his left ankle, but appears to be okay.
Maybe dual meaning behind that dunk attempt. The frustration of having to play in this first game. Primo Spears, the guy to know for Duquesne, one of the top freshmen in this league. Kevin Easley is a talented transfer, but perhaps maybe the story is Davis Larson gets the bucket for Duquesne here, is who's not in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost their 2 key big men. Trey Johnson went down 3 games ago, and Austin Rotroft, I can say it, went down January 12th, just at the start of conference season. And it's worth noting that Duquesne was 6-7 overall and had won their conference opener against UMass. Then they lost at the buzzer to Fordham on a length of the court layup after they'd missed a free throw. Then Rotroft went down, and they went downhill fairly quickly after that, as Keith Dambrot said the other day. But they're the 354th oldest team in the country out of 358. That should be a walk.
It was a Malik Martin 3 that gave Rhode this lead. Shepard from NBA range, why not? Oh, that was part of our conversation with David Cox. Said if guys like Jeremy Shepard and Ishmael El-Amin could be dialed in early.
Well, and they are their 2 best three-point shooters, and they're not a good three-point shooting team. You mentioned the 40 points in the paint against Rhode Island. They are the biggest team in this conference, and they are very dependent on getting the ball inside and on offensive rebounding.
Primo Spears getting a good look. First we talk about the freshman from Hartford, Connecticut.
Kind of interesting. Whoa, that's wide open guy there in the second row, behind the press table and in the second row. So that ball was overthrown by a little bit. Interesting that Martin is in the starting lineup and neither of the Mitchell twins are. And both transferred from Maryland, both solid players, but I think David Cox wants more out of them, and he's hoping maybe if they both come off the bench, he'll get more out of them.
Hima wide open and punches that down.
That was a nice pass. But your point about wide open, that's a defensive mistake for somebody to be that wide open in a half-court offense.
Monir Hima from the African country of Niger.
If you ask me where that is in Africa, I have no clue. You might know.
Apparently West Africa.
Okay, that narrows it down.
Landlocked.
That's like saying somebody from the United States is from the west coast.
Libya to the northeast, Chad to the east, Nigeria to the south.
Okay, you got in front of you. Good job. Good job.
Failed geography, though.
I never took it. Do you know who was a basketball player who was a geography major in college?
I probably should, like most of your questions, but I don't.
Well, and let me put it this way. He never really needed to put that degree to work. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He knew where the money was.
I was going to say, spent a lot of time in a lot of different locations. Successfully.
Yeah, put it mildly. Ended his NBA career here in Washington.
Leggett challenging Hima, who sends it away. And shot clock did not reset, as it should not.
Right.
And it's a violation.
Good defense there by the Dukes. Okay, here, watch this. Nice drive, and here comes the help. And that was not a goaltend. That was a good block. All right, here's one more trivia question, and then we'll move on. Who was the point guard on the last Duquesne team that went to the NCAA tournament?
Norm Nixon.
Very good. 1977. That was good. I'm impressed.
Hima impressing us early on.
Hima's better at basketball than I am at trivia. Let's put it that way.
4 early for Monir Hima, whose career high is 9, set against St. Bonaventure.
Well, we had a player in our last game whose career high was 12, who had 18.
El-Amin around the Walker screen. Yeah, that was C.J. Coleman for St. Joe's.
Kept him in the game there for a long time.
And Hima commits the foul here. Yep.
Tony Crisp with the call. I really liked the way the first game was officiated. They let the guys play. Nobody was in the bonus in either half until the last minute of the game.
And that's the way you want it to be in March.
That's the way I want it to be all the time.
All the time, yeah.
You can't let a game get out of hand, obviously, but you don't have to call every hand check and every bump.
Duquesne's open up 4 of 5 from the field. Rhode's 2 of 4. Amin make it 2 of 5. Elamine. Spears.
Oh, nice. Kent State, or Akron, I'll get it. One of the Ohio schools, Jeepers Creepers. I haven't even been to Akron, the Jar. But he had his fewest wins in his years at Akron was 19. Won at least 21 every other year. And did not have a losing season at Duquesne until this year.
His team with the Primo Spears free throw off to a good start. Makai Mitchell newly in, wearing number 21 for Rhode. This is Mitchell, challenges Toby Okani and loses that battle. Okani off the bench for Keith Dambrot's guys. This is the TCU transfer.
Good
Kevin
hands
Easley.
there.
Yep. Taken away by Leggett, and now Elamine. Nice entry, Leggett to set up the jump hook.
It's 0 for 2 for Mitchell since he came in the game. Twin brother is still on the bench.
Some tough shooting afternoons and evenings for them as of late. Okani
That was good defense actually by Mitchell. He changed the arc of that shot with his defense.
5 minutes in, Shepard.
Wow, that was a nice move by Shepard because he moved the ball in his hands after he left the floor. That was impressive.
5 now for Jeremy Shepard, the East Carolina transfer. Maybe that's a theme today.
Today, right, Coleman in the first game.
Larson.
That's a well-guarded shot. Martin got out on him. Malik Martin is one of those guys who doesn't have, overwhelming stats, but both coaches said yesterday that he's a key guy for Rhode Island. David Cox said he's our glue, and Keith Dambrot said he's their toughest guy.
Well, and if you watched his brother Hassan at Rhode Island,
yeah,
not surprising.
Not surprising. Just a junior.
Yeah, Curtis High has been good to the Atlantic 10. Halil Kanisevic, former St. Joe's Hawk, also a product of that school.
Somebody pushed off.
And we'll stay down at this end.
It's on Shepard, I believe.
Actually, Leggett.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Mitchell in for Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell for Mitchell. Makai sits down.
They do look just a little different. Mikkel is a little bigger, and he plays more inside than Makai. Makai is more capable. Mikkel is stronger, but Makai is more capable of stepping outside.
Yeah, he's more the pick and pop guy.
Yeah. But one 6'10", 245, the other 6'9", 230. Not exactly small, either one of them. Played for a year at Maryland before transferring here to Rhode Island.
This is another good freshman for Keith Dambrot, the southpaw Jackie Johnson III. This rebound corralled by Mikhail Mitchell. 6.5 in. Matt Martucci, John Feinstein, day one of what's the 5-day sprint towards Selection Sunday.
And that was a push-off, no question about it.
And Tyson Acuff trying to tell Mounir Hima, just stand straight up. Third Duquesne team foul, and they're all on Hima.
Well, also stand straight up, but also don't put your hands on the guy when he's trying to spin away from him.
Right.
David Cox looking like he'd like to get in the game. Of course, he was a very good player once upon a time. Still only 38 years old. I'm annoyed by 38-year-olds like you and David Cox. But David Cox looks 28. We have a injury timeout here. Watch here. Fight for the rebound. And
oh, yeah.
yeah, he got got smacked there. He grabs with his left hand at his face as he
might
goes
have been
by the
his own
bench.
teammate, Sebastian.
Yeah, it could have been.
Sebastian Thomas might have gotten hit by Mitchell.
I think you're right. That's a big guy to get hit by. Just FYI.
Elamine, nice foul line set up to Mikhail Mitchell with the soft touch.
So the bigger twin finds his way to the basket to score. That's his game, is inside.
Pretty good shot blocker at the other end. Just actually tied. You remember Luther Clay, the Purdue transfer.
Yeah, I do.
In his
Duquesne has cooled off after a fast start.
That was in Clay's spot.
It was a good idea, but a poor pass. A little frustration there from Akima after he committed that foul. And probably caught Thomas in the face, but that, if he did, but that was accident.
Nice pick and roll. Okani stuffed by the rim.
The rim had position.
Was there first.
Yep.
Shepard. And again off the glass. Likes that side.
Nice. Two nice moves there by Shepard with the right hand.
7 now for Jeremy Shepard, 7 of the 12. 6-0 Rhode run now over the last 2 minutes and change.
So you said Duquesne started hot, and now they had cooled off until that shot by Spears.
I mean, we're at the point where freshmen are basically sophomores. Primo Spears is a good basketball player.
He's a good basketball player. We're at the point where a lot of freshmen at the bigger schools are thinking of themselves as NBA players.
Yeah, you're right. Face up for Mitchell, nobody home. Easley one at the hedge.
Those three teams would have to win the tournament to get in. Atlantic 10's been a multi-bid league every year for the last 15 years. That was a poor shot there.
And one of the few bad decisions that Spears has made this afternoon.
Sometimes freshmen are freshmen.
It's true.
Knocked out of bounds. Looked like it was, I thought it was off the leg. They disagree with me. Keith Dambrot was standing right there. He's not arguing, so, well, he's discussing it.
Syracuse transfer Jalen Carey now in the lineup for Rhode Island.
You saw that Syracuse beat Florida State today by 1,000?
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
I'm sure it felt that way to Leonard Hamilton.
Double-double for Villanova transfer Cole Swider in that one as Thomas in and out on the attempt.
Tough lefty shooter going right.
Easley got Mitchell up in the air. Walker challenged, and it was enough.
And the Rim's playing great defense in this first half.
Struggling under that basket.
That's a nice steal, but poor attention by Carey.
Freshman feeding freshman, and Johnson the third continues this start for Duquesne.
And again, that started with the turnover. And Jim Valvano used to say to his players, when you go past somebody, they don't go to get popcorn. They're coming up behind you. Be aware of them.
7-0 Duquesne run now to push this to a 4-point lead. Or excuse me, 7 points off turnovers. And Walker able to bring Rhode back to within 1.
Rhode's made 3 threes, which is 3 more than Duquesne has made, and that's why it's still only a 1-point game in spite of some of the mistakes Rhode's made. 5 turnovers already. Rhode now showing up in a 2-3 zone here. Change of defense.
Mike Bukelja newly in for Duquesne, setting up Easley.
It's a nice shot by Easley off the dribble. Got in the seam of the zone.
If you were looking at Duquesne for the first time today, would you think this is a team that's lost 16 straight?
6-23, there's no way. No way I would think that.
Well, credit to Keith Dambrot for having his guys ready to play here.
Well, they're still, a week ago they went into George Washington and lost in triple overtime. So they're still showing up.
Bukelja is known to be one of their better defenders.
Walker feeling it. That one was almost out of bounds. He was so deep.
That's an addition to his arsenal this year. They shot 36% from the outside coming in. Second one of the afternoon. 6 now for the Georgetown transfer, Antoine Walker.
No relation to the former Kentucky player, Antoine Walker. Wow.
Spears from where the big fish swim.
I mean, those are 2 deep threes on the last 2 possessions.
That was a Primo shot.
You couldn't resist, could you?
No. Low-hanging fruit, my friend.
That's why you make the big bucks. And that was a reach-in. Good call. David Cox switched to the zone. Well recognized by the Dukes there. Gets in the seam for an open shot. And here, this is a deep 3. Look where he's standing when he shoots that, Spears. That was Primo. That's why I make the small bucks, because I copy people.
Already in double figures, John, 19th time this year. Good way to start his career on the Bluff.
This is a team, Duquesne, that plays no seniors. And again, another careless pass.
Easley, Spears, and the soft touch on the baseline.
He's smiling now. He's saying, I'm feeling this. David Cox is looking at him saying, I know you are, and I'm not enjoying it.
12 now for Primo Spears. More than half the points for the Dukes. Their largest lead of the afternoon.
It's already past this season's average.
Mikhail Mitchell.
It's not his shot, that's his brother's shot.
Leggett getting the shot clock back to 20.
He can make that.
Yeah. Just not that time for Shepard. The offensive rebound, though, for Martin. Third chance. Mitchell wills it up.
Those third chances kill you. When he came from Akron after having huge success there. He just said something that made Jeremy Porterfield laugh. That's pretty good for a coach in mid-game to do that. By the way, who's the most famous coach to ever coach in West Hartford, Connecticut?
Again, should know, don't. Mitchell swats this out of bounds.
Jim Calhoun when he coached at D3 St. Joseph's University.
That's right. Just retired. Our producer Andy Brill says Jen Rosati.
I'm still going with Jim Calhoun.
Johnson.
Nice.
The reverse layup.
Reverse there, wow. And again, that gets back to the old cliche. Do not give up the baseline. There's a reason that's a cliche.
5 off the bench now for Jackie Johnson, the third. Leggett. And stops the bleeding a little bit. First field goal for Ish Leggett this afternoon.
Mikhail Mitchell still in the game. His brother came in first, missed 2 quick shots and hasn't been back. That's a foul on Shepard. Tony Crisp said, don't even think about arguing with me. Tony Crisp is not an official you want to argue with, I don't think.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. The official that you never wanted to argue with was Jim Burr. Great official. I think he worked 12 Final Fours. A little bit of a temper. Good defense there.
Yeah, Akani got the strip and just walked away from the play.
Jim Burr once threatened to tee me up. I was sitting on the Bucknell bench when I was doing the last amateurs, and during a timeout late after a clear missed call by one of his partners, I said, Jim, how can you miss that call? And Jim looked at me, he said, John, you sitting on the bench? I said, yes. He said, you want to get teed up and end this game? It's a 2-point game. I said, no, thank you, appreciate the input.
Good book, good league.
Thank you. Pat Flannery was the Bucknell coach back then.
Designed inbounds there. Shepard was looking back toward Mitchell.
See, that's scouting.
Yep.
That's scouting. They saw that inbounds on the tape and they were ready for it.
Acuff with the find. Akani, somebody's open. Easley in rhythm.
When you step into those 3-point shots and you don't think about it, you got a chance to make them.
37th made 3 of the year for the TCU transfer, Kevin Easley.
Played for Jamie Dixon, who of course coached in Pittsburgh for so many years.
Active hands here for the Dukes. Able to knock this up in the air. Spears, sharks in the water.
He dribbled it, it's not going in. Oh, but there was a foul before he even got the ball. By the way, he missed. This is an example of running your offense well, getting the ball to touch the paint inside, and then you kick it back out, and the defenders are nowhere close.
I know Keith Dambrot happy to see that for his transfer, Kevin Easley. This is his third school, said, he's the first coach I've had who believes in me.
Well, I'm surprised to hear that because Jamie Dixon's an awfully good basketball coach. How's it gone for Pitt since he left? TCU, another bubble team.
14 Duquesne points off turnovers now after that last O'Connor bucket. And here comes another one. They threw it away. Acuff wants it himself.
If he made that, David Cox might have needed a timeout. Right there is off the rim right. That'll be I thought he was going to dunk it, but the layup counts the same.
Second field goal off the bench for Mikal Mitchell. Make it his third, 6 now for Mitchell on 3 for 4 from the field.
Both the twins in now together for the first time in the game.
Spears got the separation.
He's human. He'll miss on occasion. Not that often, though. Mitchell handling the ball like a point guard.
Leggett.
Nice drive.
Have opened up 50% from the field and have forced 9 Rhode Island turnovers.
They've actually had some open shots that didn't go down. Moved the ball well on offense, and as you said, the turnovers, as with LaSalle in the St. Joseph's game, have led to some very good shots. That's not an easy shot, but it goes in.
And Spears again, willing into the basket.
He got a future. Pretty good presence.
14 now for Primo Spears. Who came back from a shattered elbow his sophomore year. And Easley.
That's a high percentage shot. Bob Knight used to say his favorite play in basketball was the 1-on-0 break, because if it was 2-on-0, you might be tempted to pass and screw it up.
Inside 5 minutes left. Matt Martucci, John Feinstein. Leggett. Hey, good look. 8 now for Ish Leggett.
8 in the last couple minutes. He's kept his team in the ball game.
Rhode's last lead, 12-11. Elevator up,
nice
and O'Connor, top floor.
Wow, that was good thinking and good execution by Acuff.
Duquesne now 9 assists on what's 16 made baskets. Thomas lost that basketball. And now this is a time where it's good for Duquesne to settle down. You get some good situational awareness here.
If you don't have the fast break, there's no reason to rush.
Mikelja got a good look.
David reminds me a little of Rolly Massimino. He likes to be inbounds. Rolly always coached from inbounds.
God rest his soul, what a great man.
Oh, God, one of the best. Always called me names, I loved him.
Nice
I was deflected and it still went in.
Yep, Shepard to Elamine. And we're back to a 1-possession game.
Elamine is their best three-point shooter.
Dad could do a little bit of that, right?
Not bad.
Yeah.
A little different body type.
That's true. 7th made 3 for Rhode. Rise up for Easley off the pick and roll. Larson, the grad transfer, and lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, good defense there on the offensive rebound to keep him from going back up and making a layup.
And Davis Larson, a grad assistant who ended up being converted to the active roster.
Yeah, he's about 5 years older than most of his teammates.
Played at Division II Hillsdale and scored almost 1,000 points there. Shepard in and out.
Keith Dambrot again saying no need to rush here, fellas. 3-point lead. Neither team has been able to build any kind of serious run.
Freshman matchup here, Spears against Thomas.
Two talented kids there.
And Spears
wins.
Yep.
He won that possession. He's up to what, 17 now?
17 on 7 for 11 this afternoon.
7-11, lucky numbers. Well, that was a poor defensive play. That was Spears just being a freshman there for a moment. He just literally ran right by Shepard.
Keith Dambrot, as you say that, points across the court to Kevin Easley and says, hey, come on, let's go.
Yep. He needed help there. Spears did, from one of the big guys.
Yep, didn't get it. Now matched up with Shepard again.
That's a tough shot. That's a tough shot. By the way, just so you know, when I say tough shot like that, it means bad shot.
We've done enough games together that...
But that's one of the great announcer cliches when somebody takes a bad shot.
Yep.
Oh, tough shot. Yeah, no kidding.
Elamine, good find from the corner from Shepard. Now he's the open man. Good close by Johnson III.
Oh, nice look by Shepard. Jeepers, in midair, he changed his mind. And they end up getting the bucket because Walker gets his own.
Now this was a 7-point Duquesne lead at one point. Now 10 of the last 15
see
for Rhode.
if they go 2 for 1. We talked about this in the first game. They got time. If they get a shot up here, they got a shot up, and they made it.
Blow by for Johnson III.
And now they should be able to get a final shot, depending on what happens on this Rhode Island possession. Neither coach has used his use it or lose it yet.
4-second and change shot clock, game clock differential here.
I'm sorry, did Keith Dambrot use his?
He did.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second.
Shepard with 7 on the shot clock. Elamine caught up in that corner. The bailout, Shepard on the turnaround.
It didn't hit the rim.
Nope.
Didn't hit the rim. So now Keith Dambrot probably, if he hadn't used his timeout, that's why I brought it up, would call a timeout here to set a full court play. But again, they practice these plays all the time. 3.1 seconds to go. Depending on where Spears catches it, he could just go length of the court and shoot. Oh, they did a good job defensively making him put it behind his at large, but won't be. But the look on the faces of the Furman kids when that shot went in, it was a 35-footer. It was March basketball right away. And Spears, speaking of March basketball, picking up right where he left off at halftime.
How about 19 now for him? He had 34 on Saturday against LaSalle.
Yeah, I think he's hot.
Yeah, I would say so. Shepard. And Walker
Walker's
picking
pretty
pop.
hot too. That's his third 3 of the game.
9 now, make it 11 for Antoine Walker. Becomes the first double-figure scorer for Rhode.
Both these teams run very good half-court offense, which tells you they're well coached.
Spears, Larson got good position, everything but the finish.
He struggles to finish, doesn't he? Might be why his future's in coaching.
One and done from Malik Martin.
Good read. Malik Martin's been very quiet in this game. And got a whistle away from the ball.
And Justin Porterfield on that call.
Saw a hold about 20 feet from where the basketball was.
That's Jeremy Shepard's second personal. Actually, no, it's his third.
That's significant. That makes that foul much more important.
And one of your top scorers and one of your top three-point shooters if you're David Cox.
Second leading scorer, and again, one of those guys Cox mentioned, we need a good game from him, but Primo Spears is just on fire.
Taking over.
What did we say? He was 7 of 11 in the first half, so he's now 9 of 13. Welcome
to the Atlantic 10 tournament, young man.
Wow. Trying to stick around in the Atlantic 10 tournament.
Leggett, Akani, and now Tyson Acuff with no numbers. And makes the smart play.
Yeah, recognizes it.
Gas pedal for Spears. Malik Martin says no. Shut off at the last second.
There's Malik Martin making a play. Making 2 plays.
Coast to coast.
That's why David Cox says he's the glue. And he makes a defensive play and then an offensive play.
Just blocked that shot, ran the length of the floor.
It's a good block using his size there. He's bigger than Spears. And then he comes hustling back, takes the pass, scores, and one. And we could hear the color commentators in the stands yelling and one.
The Charlotte transfer, Malik Martin, now 6. And here comes Rhode.
Again, lead goes back down to 2. Pretty much been the game. Nobody up by more than 7. I don't think that's going in.
And Larson, another miss.
Think that's his shot.
Leggett, taking contact. O'Connor got a good block.
Sure was contact. Elamine weighs about half of what his dad weighed when he was a star at Connecticut.
Yes, he does. That was a good team.
National champions,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, they were. Kevin Freeman and Jake Voskuhl.
Rip Hamilton.
Yep. Rashamel Jones.
They lost 2 games that year, and in each game they were without at least one starter. Voskuhl missed a game, and I think Elamine missed a game. And those were their 2 losses.
Jake Voskuhl had major league sideburns. Couldn't grow them today, but
they could.
Yeah.
You know.
Just not the style, though.
No, it's certainly not the style. Easley with a miss at the free throw line. All these free throws are a big deal in a game like this. You get to the line, you've got to convert.
Leggett sits down for David Cox. Another one for Easley. He's had a good afternoon. 7 points to go with 3 assists.
He's still shaking his head about missing that first one. That's what good free throw shooters do.
Good pedigree for that young man. Lawrence North High School. Same one that produced Greg Oden. Some guy named Eric Montross. There's your Dean Smith reference.
Also produced Patrick Knight. Bob Knight's younger son.
Yep. Was on that Final Four team. Acuff.
Who did they lose to? I can't remember.
Some guy named Krzyzewski.
Yeah, some guy named Krzyzewski.
Martin running the floor.
When they run the floor, Duquesne's in trouble. Duquesne needs this to be half-court basketball. Now the lead's down to 1. And Martin is most effective in transition because he's so good going to the basket.
Last Rhode Island lead was 12-11. The 12.5-minute mark of the first half. And they have a chance for one here after Larson missed.
Well, I think when you have a big possession and you're Pete Dambrot, I don't think Larson's the guy you want shooting the ball. He's a very effective player. He does a lot of dirty work, little things. He's not that good an offensive player. And Keith Dambrot likes having him in there because of his experience and his basketball intelligence. But he needs to use that basketball intelligence to realize there are better scorers on the floor than him.
Maybe scorer at this level. Three-time all-conference kid at D2.
Well, D2 and D1 are different,
big,
as you
big
well
difference.
know.
Yes, big difference. Elamine, high off the window.
Goodness.
And Rhode with the lead back for the first time since almost the midway point of the first half.
Shades of Sean Woods in that Duke-Kentucky game in '92. Way off the top of the glass.
That's a great pull by you.
Not bad, huh? I do remember what happened after that shot, though.
Spears.
I think that was off Rhode, yes. Good start to this half for Rhode Island, taking the lead. They were down 4 at the break. They've outscored Duquesne 10-5 coming out of the shoot. Spent some extra time in the locker room, Rhode Island did. They didn't come, bad pass. They didn't come out till there were 3 minutes left on the clock. I think their coach might have had a few extra words for them.
Now have it back to the level where they started. Have not led by more than 4 this afternoon. Carey with the jump stop and cleaning the glass. Walker, who's having a great second half.
Well, that worked out well. That was not a good shot by Carey, but Walker was not boxed out. You remember the term box out, right? Used to be the first thing you learned as a kid. Now you mention box out to most players, they look at you like, what?
Spears ill-advised. And Hema playing with those.
Darn right, because there's nothing else I could have done with any competence. There are those who say I haven't done sports writing with much competence, but at least I've been able to work.
Also learned today you can't operate an ATM. Is that true?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Walker hopped to the lane and fouled.
My wife was furious with me a couple weeks ago because she had to go in my phone to get something out of it. And she noticed I didn't have her number in the phone. And I said, Chris, I don't have any numbers in my phone. I don't know how to do it. So she put her number in my phone. I now have one. No, she put Jane's number into it. I have two.
Welcome to 2022.
Oh, jeez. Give me back to 1980s.
Hema got a piece of that
Nice
from
play
Thomas.
by
There's
Walker.
Walker.
Another offensive rebound again. Little flop.
And Carey maybe initiating.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yep.
So I think it's good, no call. David Carey, David Cox, who is again wide open inbounds.
3 freshmen on the floor now for Keith Dambront.
Not that unusual.
Now Spears. That's not unusual either.
Well, I was thinking when we were looking at those shooting statistics, they need to get the ball back to Spears, and it doesn't take a basketball genius to figure that out.
21 now for Primo Spears. 10th game he's led the Dukes in scoring. And it's contact between Carey and Hema.
Hema did not get away with contact this time.
And that's a 4th personal.
That's important. Hema started this game very fast. Keith Dambrot is now being told by one of his assistants that Hema's got 4. So he will go to his bench, and he will bring Davis Larson back.
4th Duquesne team foul, which in a lot of situations you'd be looking forward to, but Rhode Island not the best free throw shooting team as we get down the stretch here.
I'm guessing David Cox would prefer this game not come down to free throws.
Bottom 2 in the country in free throw percentage.
It's at a 358 if you're keeping score at home.
Yes, sir. And another turnover. 3rd one of this half, 13th of the game.
That was a nice move by Spears, except he forgot the basketball.
Carey couldn't finish, but guess what? Leggett can.
And that's what happens when one of your players gets behind the play. And even though the first shot is missed, there's a follow.
Rhode, a largest lead for a 2nd time, back to 5 again.
Sort of like when a hockey defenseman goes in deep, since we're in a hockey arena, and gets caught behind the play. There's a near steal. Good hustle. You see nice hands there reaching in by Spears, and here they go. And you see Spears is still behind the play, so in spite of the miss, there's the follow by Leggett.
Good balance today for David Cox's team. 4 different guys with at least 7 or more, led by the 15 from Antoine Walker.
Kel Mitchell back in the game. Neither Mitchell twins started the 2nd half. They had played 13 minutes total, 2 minutes together.
Larson, and again, not his shot.
Well, it reminds me of an old story when Don DeVoe was the coach at Navy. He had a very good player named Jeremy Toten, but Jeremy Toten couldn't shoot the ball. And he took a shot like that one in a game, and DeVoe started screaming at him. And Toten said, Coach, I was open. And he said, Jeremy, there's a reason you're open. Davis Larson does a lot of good things for this basketball team. I'm not trying to put him down, believe me, but he's not a shooter. And a turnover there for Rhode Island, an important one for Duquesne because the lead's now 5. Duquesne has scored 7 points in this half.
Nice drop off. There's Larson.
That's what I mean about him not being a shooter, but he will get to the foul line this time. Showing his frustration, understandable. Here, Spears, nice move, nice pass. Larson, frustration, Carey fouled him. That was just such a nice spin move by Spears.
By the way, somebody at home is going to tell you that David Larson had 96 career threes and was a 42% shooter.
Is that Davis's brother, David?
No, it's not.
But he had him in D2. It's different defense.
It was only 33% this year.
Well, and I'm not putting Davis Larson down. I hate to pick on him. And he finally made a shot, and I'm happy for him. But he's now 1 for 7 in the game from the field.
3 points for
3
Larson.
points.
Yep.
But he's on the court for a reason. Because of his defense, because of his toughness, and because of his rebound.
Almost 8 minutes in. Rhode by as many as 5. Duquesne's largest lead was 7 late in the first half. Carey got separation from McKelja.
But McKelja was close enough to force him to lean right just a little bit, and the shot went a little right.
Spears.
That's a tough shot, that step back. That's a tough shot for anybody, much less a college freshman.
Jalen Carey, Antoine Walker, Mikhail Mitchell, Jeremy Shepard, and Ishmael El-Amin for David Cox's guys. Good hands there for Easley.
Yep.
Shot clock inside 10 now.
Mitchell had the ball for about 10 seconds there total.
He's open and spun out of it.
That was a nice pass.
Yep.
Very hard. I shouldn't have said that word. I apologize.
It's, as somebody that's also gone through it.
Yep, you went through it recently.
Not fun.
And he said to me, it was interesting, he said, when my dad died on my birthday, something told me it wasn't going to be a good winter. And sometimes things are an omen, and Easley making a shot is a good omen for Keith Dambrot.
Now 10 for Kevin Easley. Shepard.
That's a 18-8 in this half. That's why they're gone from down 4 to up 4. But that math doesn't make sense. So but it is 18-8. And the big difference has been the turnovers. It was 16-0 points off turnovers for Duquesne in the first half. It's 8-1 for Rhode Island in this half. That's how the game has changed.
Johnson trying to change it, score it, +1.
That was a nice drive by the freshman. As you said, Duquesne's got some talented freshmen. Johnson going right to the basket, finishes. So getting to the basket itself isn't all that difficult, Matt. Finishing, especially when you get hit, is what's difficult. And the players who can do that are the players who become stars.
Jackie Johnson III, the youngest player on this Duquesne roster.
And also to his credit, he's left-handed. He made that basket with his right hand. Of course, we all know lefties are great.
You're sitting next to one.
Me too.
What are the odds of that on a broadcast?
I once saw a photo of 5 of us sitting in the front row at a John McEnroe press conference at a U.S. Open. He's also left-handed. All of us were lefty. All 5 of us. Which leads back to the little plaque my mother gave me years ago. God made a bunch of perfect people, and then he made the rest right-handed. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Mikhail Mitchell, little 2-game, and
wow.
Thomas telegraphed it.
Yep, they were trying to run the give and go and give.
Johnson.
Lost it.
Yep, lost it
From
out.
behind. That was really an alert play by Johnson, because that was a set play off the inbounds. Mitchell to the corner to Mitchell. Here you see, it's right back. Never looked to shoot. That was just very smart and good defense. That's over the backboard.
I don't know if Jackie Johnson III could do that again if he tried.
Let's see.
We've got a wedgie.
Now let's see. You said that. Now we're going to have to get the basketball back. I'm not sure this guy's tall enough to reach. Oh, well, good try. And now Malik Martin says, leave it to a pro. And he gets it. He's 6'6", that helps.
If not, Monir Hema was coming over there to offer some assistance.
He was back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we press on.
You know, wanting to get back on the court with those 4 fouls one way or the other.
Seesaw battle here at DC. David Cox trying to beat Duquesne for what would be the 3rd time in his career. Keith Dambrot looking for his 4th career win over Rhode. And what would also be his 4th at Duquesne. Shepard with the shot clock down to 5 and bailed out with a foul.
And that is a bailout. That is the 15th foul on Duquesne, 4 on Rhode Island. As you said, free throw shooting may be critical for the Rams coming down the stretch.
And Rhode is the team 62%. And 5 straight games of less than 57 coming into today.
Nice move, and Michaela went for the steal and didn't get it, and Mitchell was alert enough to get the ball back and lay it up and in.
So Mikhail Mitchell with 10.
Unless I'm mistaken, his brother hasn't played yet in this half.
And has not scored either.
In the game, right.
Yep.
Missed his first 2 shots. I don't think he's taken a shot since.
Shepard settling down. Got the backdoor cut. Martin's open and can't cash in. Spears.
Going very fast.
Yep, almost turned that over. What a find, and Easley brings Duquesne to back within 1.
Just when you think he might be a little out of control, he says, boys, I know what I'm doing.
4th assist of the afternoon for Primo Spears, and give Easley 12.
Nice passing there by the Rams until the last one.
Active hands there for Spears to get it into the lane.
That was one of those examples of an extra pass.
Johnson, the third, got hit on the arm, in and out.
He's looking for the foul call. It's not coming.
2 ties, 5 lead changes here in our nation's capital. Rhode recovering from double-digit first-half turnovers. Mitchell.
It's not a bad shot. Mitchell can make that shot. He's a little flat-footed, though.
Easley foam. Leave my sight.
Yes, just be gone.
Just saw Easley and Spears what they've done. Easley the rise up.
He did not get legs into that shot. That's why it front rim. Fatigue becomes a factor at this point in the game for everybody.
This point in the season, too.
This point in the season, too. Very good point. Both Mitchells on the court for the second time, and Malik Mitchell just got hit on the ankle, hobbling a little bit.
Shepard got set up with a good look. Rhode by 4.
And David Cox takes a quick, I think David Cox took a quick timeout. I could be mistaken, but there was a whistle. Oh, I think it was to check on Mitchell. Because coaches will do that, you know, and you're well aware. At this point in the game, they might call a quick timeout, just say, hey, fellas, we need a stop right now. But that's not what happened. I heard the whistle, and I thought that's what it was, but it was just a check on Mitchell, who's apparently okay because he's still out there.
Well, Duquesne hasn't led since a couple minutes into this second half. Easley. Nice use of the baseline.
Yep. Used the baseline and used the rim.
14 now for Kevin Easley. In double figures for a team-leading 21st game. Mitchell. Face up on O'Connor, score it, plus the foul.
He picked a pretty good time to score, make his first basket of the game. First points of the game. This is a nice move here. He puts it on the floor with the left hand, gets hit, keeps going, and finishes. Again, this is where free throw shooting starts to become an important factor.
Big bucket for Makai Mitchell, his first points of the afternoon.
Picture perfect free throw there.
Which is their first, make it second attempt of the afternoon. Martin has a make and Mitchell with a make.
So they're 100%. That's better than normal.
Less attempts, higher percentage. They'll take it.
We'll certainly take the higher percentage. That's really deep.
Spears.
He makes it. Really overcome and come back to be not a good player, but a terrific player. And he's just a freshman.
And Jack Clark was great this afternoon.
Jack Clark, I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you for correcting me.
Shepard off the screen. Mitchell trying to drop the hammer.
Let's see. He did try to drop the hammer. One-handed dunks are tough, especially when you're guarded.
And now Duquesne can either tie or get its first lead since the 17:07 mark of this half. Spears by himself.
Boy,
Tie basketball
smart
game.
play by Spears. He turned down the screen and went left and was wide open because the defender tried to go over the screen and he just left him.
28 in his first conference tournament game of his career.
Trying to have a second one tomorrow rather than next year.
Mitchell, and wide open.
He can make, as I said, he can make that shot. He was wide open. Duquesne basically daring him to shoot. Had 0 points a minute ago, now he's got 6.
Rhode breaks our third tie of the afternoon. Easley setting it up for
good
Spears.
defense there.
And the Mitchells.
By Mitchell.
McHale.
McHale says if my brother can get stuff done, I can too.
Carey. Bench would have gone crazy for that one.
They get the offensive rebound. Again, Mackay this time.
Inside 5 to go.
The last couple of minutes are the kind of play that David Cox thinks the Twins have the potential to be more consistent with. Most of the redshirt sophomores.
Mitchell with 2 on the shot clock, rising.
Lost it out of bounds. That's Rhode Island ball.
Yeah, Toby O'Connor couldn't corral it.
I don't know why he didn't go after that ball, because he might have been able to save it back in bounds. He was trying to convince Tody Crisp it wasn't off him, but it was clearly off him. Recycled 20-second clock. It's not reset. Couple good opportunities for Rhode Island, but they keep rebounding the ball. And Mitchell will now go to the line for a 1-and-1.
A reminder, Duquesne hanging in there this afternoon without their second leading scorer, Trey Williams, the Indiana State transfer.
Got hurt 4 games ago now.
Tyson Acuff sits down. Big free throws coming from Mitchell. A look at Coach Dambrot, who's got to be proud of his son Robbie, who's a pro soccer player in the USL in Pittsburgh.
It's an athletic family. Dambrot played at Akron, and then of course coached there very successfully. I've been in that building. They call it the Jar. The name of the guy named it is something like James A. Reed. I know that's wrong.
Spears, and big offensive rebound by Easley to keep the possession alive. Johnson with a great find for O'Connor.
What a nice pass and what a nice fake by O'Connor. Going up to draw the foul. Because Martin was there defensively. Very good pass, very good shot fake. Watch this really good pass. Martin gets there. Connie draws the foul. Now you got to convert the free throws. And that's a brick. That looked like me a little bit.
And O'Connor,
that's not a compliment.
Yeah, normally a pretty good one. 73% during conference play, 71 overall. As Monir Hema back in for Keith Dambrot's guys.
As you said, it's March.
Yes, sir. You squeeze it a little bit more.
Yeah, somebody's going home tonight.
And 1 of 2. And Duquesne, middle of the road free throw shooting team in the conference. Duke's 4 for 6 now in the afternoon with that O'Connor make. Rhode Island shot clock cut in half. Leggett, score.
So hard about being, especially being a big-time coach, because you get to a point where your team, like Jamie Dixon at Pittsburgh, they're in a tournament every year. They were in the Elite Eight a couple times. Well, but we haven't been in the Final Four. So now he's at TCU, and Pitt doesn't have to worry about being in the Elite Eight.
Johnson the third, and sold it a little bit. He'll go to the line.
Malik Martin wasn't buying, but fortunately for Duquesne, Justin Porterfield was.
Oh, this is a group for Keith Dambrot that more games going to do
Young
them
team,
a huge service.
It's like a football team.
Yep.
It's very young. It desperately wants a bowl game. because they get more practices and obviously the game. And Duquesne not shooting free throws particularly well.
Now that's a big miss for an 80% shooter in Johnson III. Who did an extra year at Hargrave Military Academy. Not sure why, but the only person that comes to mind, or the first one anyway, with Hargrave is Corleone Young.
Although they've had some very good players there through the years.
Yep. But one of the guys that went right to the NBA.
Yeah. You're going to see players going right to the NBA again, I think.
Soon.
The CBA is signed in 2 years. And Mitchell has been a different player since he came back into the game. In this half, he's been key for Rhode Island. And I don't think he played the first 12 minutes of this half.
Only 10 total minutes the whole afternoon.
Right. And what, 5 in the first half? I think 5 now in this half. So.
Bearing down has hit his free throws.
At the very least, he's been the best Mitchell on the court today.
Well, they've combined now for 18. 8 for Mackay after those 2 free throws.
And actually, his brother played well earlier, so they've actually spread it out nicely. David Cox told me yesterday he thinks they both have the potential to be all-league players by the time they're seniors. But the message behind that was they got to work on their games if they want to get there. They've got the ability, they've got to work on their games.
Maybe hoping to put that out there so the message gets received.
I think he's been putting it out there before talking to me.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I don't think he said, oh, I'm talking to John, so now I'll put that out. Oh my goodness, Duquesne really hurting itself at the free throw line. Spears misses the front end of a 1-and-1. And that you can't afford this time of game to be doing that.
5 for 10 this half for the Dukes from the charity stripe. Inside 3 minutes, Matt Martucci, John Feinstein. Winner gets Chris Mooney in Richmond tomorrow night. Shepard over the top of Johnson the third.
Air ball.
Yep.
Even if they had gotten it back, there would have been 1 second on the shot clock.
Well, our statistician, Keon Matashmi, just had the same look we all did. Why?
Yeah.
At that point in the possession.
He held it for so long.
Spears off the spin, tough shot.
He's made a few of them though. But you're right. Your euphemism is right. But I think Keith Damrod probably wants him shooting at this point, one way or the other. And it's not. You got to re-recruit your team in the spring because the big boys are looking to steal, especially from a league as good as the Atlantic 10, because there are so many good players.
You need a Venn diagram to figure out who's
well,
where.
They went to Mitchell and it worked.
Yep, there it is.
So David Cox, good timeout, good play call.
10 for Mackay Mitchell.
All here in the last 7-8 minutes.
Largest lead of the game for Rhode Island. Easley in rhythm.
Boy, they
there it
needed
is.
that one, and now Stephen Curry's better than we are.
Mitchell and the DC native Ish Leggett able to corral it.
Now they should run some clock. Oh, they fouled very early there. Down 4, fouling with 22 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure I understand that. Play defense.
Oh, it puts Rhode Island into the double bonus. It would be different
if it was 1-and-1. Mitchell gets 2. Like I said, he got yanked from the game very quickly in the first half after he missed 2 quick shots. Didn't come back. Came back briefly. Oh, that's a terrible free throw there. Maybe they knew what they were doing. But since he came back in the second half, he's been terrific. He's the reason they had the lead.
4 of 7 as a team. Mitchell missed them both. Walker can't corral the rebound.
Keith Damrod is officially a better coach than me. As if it was in doubt.
Spears right at Mitchell. Lost his footing. Steps through. Easily cut off. Good defensive possession by the Rams. Johnson the third, that's off him and out of bounds.
Yeah, very good defensive position.
Try to extend the game as much as you possibly can. Or you just do that.
Steal it, then you don't have to foul.
Spears wanted contact.
There was contact.
And
I'm not sure who initiated it.
And Davis Larson commits the foul. Well, and that would be the guy, though, that you would want to foul.
David Cox is over there kind of shaking his head, saying nothing is easy right now, this year, this season.
Now they fouled the right guy. Antoine Walker, 48.5% on the year.
We'll find out if they fouled the right guy.
Sub 27 in conference play.
You keep citing stats and I'll watch the game. How about that? Now, if he misses two, then you can say, ha, 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 ha. But he made one, see? What is the old saying? Stats are for losers? He makes 2 out of 2. What do you have to say to me?
I have nothing to say.
Yes, that's correct.
Spears.
And again, that was very good defense by Walker. Bigger guy getting out there, getting a hand on him.
The guy you wanted taking the shot, but
yes,
it would
yeah, but it was, well, it was good defense.
Yep.
I'm going to quote Dean Smith one more time. The other team gives scholarships too, which is what he said to his team when they were down 18-2 to an 8th-seeded Clemson team in the ACC tournament. Called a timeout, which he never, ever did in the first half. I said, what did you say? He said, I informed them that Clemson gives scholarships too. They came back and won, of course.
How do you think folks did on your Dean Smith drinking game today?
Oh, they're on the floor. They're passed out. And I barely mentioned Mike Krzyzewski. I should get some credit for that.
You do. Points are duly noted.
There you go. Whoop, 1 out of 2. 3-possession game here. They need to get a shot up.
Acuff high off the board.
They did. Coach 5 straight conference tournament finals.
They get it into Shepard. Good double there. And Acuff thought maybe
it's a good attempt.
A shot at a steal.
Yep. And again, they only used up 3 seconds. Obviously, Shepard would like to make 2 and make it a 3-possession game again. And we're really at the point where if he makes 2, they have to start shooting 3s. If he makes 1, they have to lean 3s. If he misses both, then they just get the first shot they can get.
Shepard brings this to 6, 12 on the afternoon for him. 5 double-figure scorers for David Cox's team. And got them both.
Very cool. We talked about free throws being critical at the end of the game.
Spears.
Well, that's not a good foul. It's a non-shooting foul, but why do you stop the clock? It's just not a good foul, and it'll be 1-and-1 for Spears, who missed the last 1-and-1 he had. He cannot afford to miss here if Duquesne's going to have a chance in these last 27.9 seconds, approximately.
.29 for Spears.
Didn't expect him to miss twice, 2 in a row. So if he makes this one, it'll be a second straight 30-point game.
What were you saying about stats before?
They're for losers. Everybody knows I'm a loser. There's a nice pass, football pass to leg it, but he missed. Wow. Wow.
Acuff.
That's an air ball.
No, yep. Easley, second chance, score the basket,
and he got
+1.
fouled. That one is bad, as badly for Rhode Island as it possibly could have. They get an open guy going down the court for what looks to be a game-clinching layup. He misses. They come back the other way. Shoot an air ball. And now Easley might get a 3-point play. Watch this. This is a great pass. And I don't know if he took his eye off the rim but he missed. And there's Davis Larson hustling back. He gets the rebound. And now Easley with the follow and a chance to cut it to 2.
Easley 1 of 2 on the afternoon. Big free throw.
2-point game, 13.6 seconds left. Both teams in the double bonus.
And they foul.
Arrow still favors Duquesne. No, you can barely tell looking at that possession arrow across the court.
Now, best case scenario, if you're David Cox and the Rams, Shepard's one of your best ones. Actually is your best one in your rotation outside of Ismail El-Amin.
And David Cox taking his players off the free throw line because he doesn't want anybody fouling on a miss. Do not want to stop the clock. Rhode Island has stopped it twice in the last 2 possessions for Duquesne. Shepard coolly makes the first. He can make it a 2-possession game here. Sharing a joke with Walker there for a second. That shows a pretty good attitude. And of course he bricks it.
Chance to tie here for Duquesne. Johnson the third. Going all the way in for the layup.
I don't know, because you don't want to catch it in the corner. Hang on.
Tim Comer saying you gotta at least give him some space.
Yeah, they're not, because they're all lined up right near the sideline. They're gonna, there they go. Screen, Spears, catch, or Shepard, catch, and foul. 5.2, which is plenty of time. Now, I wonder if David Cox doesn't decide to put somebody on the foul line here, because if there's a miss, you just want to take up time. And even if you foul, you know, they go to the line and shoot, but you can't lose unless Shepard misses both, which isn't happening.
From a Duquesne perspective, you almost want him to make both because
you can get an inbounds pass.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Although you do remember that Duke Butler game where Mike Krzyzewski told Zubek to miss the second because there was so little time on the clock, and he did, and Gordon Hayward almost made it from 45 feet to win the game.
I do remember that.
So does Mike Krzyzewski. See, I got
Shepard long,
okay,
there it is.
They used up some time. There are no
Larson,
timeouts.
8 cup.
No timeouts.
He got it off for the win.